I will be looking at the grade 10 mathematics paper, November 2018. We'll first start with question 1. So they want us to factorize the following expressions fully. In 1.1.1, we can see 4x minus x cubed has a common factor of x. So we'll take that out. Then we get x, open bracket 4, minus x squared. Aha! This over here is a difference of squares. So then we'll further factorize that into x, open bracket 2, plus x into minus x. We have the 2 here because 2 times 2 or 2 plus 2 will give us 4. And then 1 is plus and 1 is minus because this is a negative. Now on to the next question. We can see this is a quadratic equation. So we know how to factorize quadratic equations. We take out numbers that times together equal 54, and if you add them or minus them together, they should give us 15. So if we take out 2 and 27, 2 plus 27 is 29, while 27 minus 2 is 25, so it can't be that. Let's take out 3 and 18. 3 plus 18 is 21, but 18 minus 3 is 15. Aha, we found our numbers. So we open our brackets, put out x's, and since it's a minus here, both will have minuses here. And we'll put 18 here and 3 here. And voila, it's fully factorized. Whoops, I am making a mistake. 18 will actually have a plus because positive 18 minus 3 gives us 15. So the next one is y minus xy plus x minus 1. So how I would approach this, I would take this as one part and this as a second part. So here we can see there's a common factor of y, and here, well, the only common factor I can possibly see is 1. So let's try and take out those common factors. So y, open bracket 1 minus x, and if we take out a common factor from there, let's take out minus 1. And then we get minus x plus 1, which we can then convert to y, open bracket y minus x, close bracket, minus 1, 1 minus x. Aha, now we see there is another common factor, 1 minus x, so we will take that out. So we'll take 1 minus x, and then that just leaves us with y minus 1. That's how we would fully factorize that. Now, the next question is asking us to simplify. The following expressions. So you know simplify means basically just timesing it out. So this is going to be a bit long and winded, but it's easy marks. So remember, we're not timesing. To make this simpler, we're going to times each expression by each expression. So let's first start with this x here. So x times x squared is x cubed. Then x times minus x is minus x squared. X times 3 is plus 3x. Now we are done with that x. Now we can move on to this positive 2. 2 times x squared is positive 2x squared. We times that by negative x, we get negative 2x. Times that by 3, and then we get plus 6. So now we're going to simplify this to be a bit better because it's kind of messy now. So we're going to add and minus all the like terms. So x cubed is by itself. X squared is minus 1x squared plus 2x squared. That's going to give us 1x squared. The 3x by itself plus minus 2x is going to give us minus, that's an x cubed. So plus 3x minus 2x is going to give us 1x. And then finally, we have the 6. Simple. Okay, now for the next question. Now for the next question, we can see it's a fraction. Now in algebra, how we deal with fractions is we try to get a common denominator. So the common denominator for this fraction will be x plus 3 to minus x, okay? So how we get that, we times 2 minus x times 5, which will give us, give me a second. So common denominator is x plus 3 to minus x. Now in order to make this into a common denominator of that, we have to times 2 minus x by this, which will give us 5, open bracket, 2 minus x, close bracket. Now, to get this into that, we have to times this part, x plus 3 by 3. Oh, don't forget our minus over here, guys. And so then it will be 3, open bracket, x plus 3. How we can solve that further is by timesing the 5 into the bracket and the minus 3 into the bracket, which will give us 10 minus 5x minus 3x minus 9 over x plus 3 to minus x. And we can see like terms here, so 10 minus 9 is 1, and minus 5x minus 3x is minus 8x, x plus 3 to minus x. And that's how we would solve that, well, simplify that expression. Okay. So for the next question, it's to the power of x. So how we normally deal with this is to get the bases the same number. So we can get the bases to the prime number, well, any number basically, but they have to be similar. I would try and get the 25 to the power of minus x and the 15 to the power of x plus 1 into 3 and 5s, since that's what the denominator is also about. So what can 25 be? 25 is the same as 5 squared. And 15 is the same as 3 times 5. So don't forget to take these over. So this will become negative 5 to the power of negative 2x, and 3 to the power of x plus 1, and 5 to the power of x plus 1, all over 3x times 5 minus x. So remember our rules of exponentials. If they have the same base, then you can add the exponentials if they're times together, and you can minus the exponentials if they're divided together. So then if we simplify that a bit further, we can take this to the top by saying 5 minus 2x plus x plus 1 from this part here, and we'll also be using this part here. And then since we're taking the bottom to the top, it will transform into a positive. And then that will times 3x plus 1. And we're transforming that into a positive by taking it to the top. Well, a negative by taking it to the top. So then finally we end up with that. And we can simplify it even more by saying 5 minus 2x plus x cancels out. That leaves us with 5 to the power 1. And 3x minus x cancels out to the power 1. Therefore, that equals to 5 times 3, which is 15, which is that answer there. Now, for 1.3, we have to determine the value of 3p plus q squared if 9p squared plus q squared is equal to 12 and pq is equal to 3. So if we know 9p squared plus q squared is equal to 12 and pq is equal to 3, we'll keep that in mind for later. For now, I'm just going to try and expand this bracket. Yes. So we have 3pq times 3p plus q and then 3p times 3p is 9p squared. 3p plus q times q. Sorry, 3p times 3p is 9p squared, and 3p times q is plus 3pq. And then q times 3p is also 3pq. And then q times q is q squared. So then if we're going to simplify it even further, we have 9p, well not simplify, expand, well solve it further, 9pq plus 9p squared plus 6pq plus q squared. Okay. Now let's arrange this a bit more nicely so it fits into what we have here. So 9p squared plus q squared plus 6pq. So if 9p squared plus q squared is equal to 12, we can substitute that in. And we know pq is equal to minus 3. We'll just substitute that in as well. Therefore, 12 plus 6 times minus 3 is 12 minus 18. Therefore, the answer is minus 6. So that's it for question 1, Algebra, November 2018 DBE paper.